Sun Bear Brewing on Instagram. What is the story of your brewery? How did it start? Anything you would do differently? So this is not my brewery where I work right now. Cartridge is not my brewery, but it is. I've been head brewer at a handful of places. I mean, how did it start? Just a little background on Cartridge, munitions factory for World War One, World War Two. This is just kind of the nutshell version. World War One, World War Two. It went through an extended period of shutdown from the fact that they were handling lead there. It was an EPA thing. It took a long time to get that place up to snuff according to federal regulation. Obviously, that's an important thing. And in the meantime, young people were going there and doing the things that young people do. They were drinking some beers, spray painting on the walls, high-fiving, good timing, smoking funny cigarettes. Yeah, and so it just kind of stayed like that. People were busting out windows, whatever. People would go up there and party. People would say that it was haunted up there, whatever, and it was kind of a whole big scene. But yeah, and then they brought the place back to life. The developer put in like 132, 135 apartments in its own little mini campus there, with the sole business on that property being the brewery. The brewery is really a unique spot. It's really, really beautiful. It's right on the bike trail there, right on the river. Beautiful space. They've done an amazing job, and I probably to the credit primarily of Lindsay Hackbarth, one of the owners, did a really terrific job design-wise inside there, and just makes this, it captures this thing where you still feel like you're in an older building, but it feels a little bit refined, right? And it feels like it's a space that you can actually be in. There's a lot of nice touches design-wise in there. Just a beautiful old building, and it's really great to be able to see something like that renovated and brought back to life. I think some of the things that some of the strong choices to make, because this is the 1, 2, 3, and even 4. There's some breweries that I've worked at that I wasn't there like when it first opened, but early enough that it was kind of really in that opening stage, right? I think some of the keys, so that question of what would you do differently, I'm going to approach it as, what are some of the right decisions to make? I love seeing places get used equipment. We got used equipment at Cartridge. We got a really nice specific mechanical system for a brew house with some tanks with that. And then we bought some tank scoopage from another now defunct brewery from the Cincinnati area. And yeah, I mean, you obviously save on it and things like that. I don't know, what would we do differently? I don't know. It's hard, like, I mean, there's been places where I've worked that, maybe they undershot what they needed to do equipment wise and then needed to make purchases later. That's probably a better place to be in than overbuying equipment, right? Sometimes when you are in that situation and that loan money comes in and your pockets feel stacked, you're just out there and you want to spend money, but honestly, if you can get some quality used equipment, I think that's really great. I think one of the other keys from a brewer standpoint, just even take it from a beer standpoint, I think it's important to think about not just what you want to brew, but also what people want to drink. There's been some times where I've made a beer that I thought was really great. I remember back at the first brewery I worked at called Crankers. I figure, okay, so we have our West Coast style IPA up. I'm going to make a Cal Common, right? Because it's not a pale ale, but it's hoppy, and so it would be a different hop profile than what I'm doing with my IPA. And I'm like, that'll kind of be a second hoppy beer on tap. I thought it was a really nice beer. It was a really good example of style. Nobody cared. And it blew my mind. I'm like, dude, this beer's lasting forever. How can this be? It essentially just got poured in samples. I'd like, barely anybody ordered a pint. And then you realize, oh, well, at the town that I was in, it supported an IPA or maybe 2, right? Because we had a session IPA later that did well. That was called Big in Japan. brewer buddy of mine, Andy, that was his baby. It was a really nice beer. I don't know. I think being willing to say that on some level you're also going to make what people want to drink in that area. You might be wrong with it. One of the things that I think we did well with launching Cartridge, we kind of made the decision of saying we're gonna make what people want to drink. And then fortunately for me, it turned out to be lager, which has been awesome and really a fun adventure. So yeah, I'm gonna handle that question that way a little bit. If I owned a brewery, I would feel very comfortable telling you the mistakes that I have made. But when it's not me owning it, I also don't want to like put former employers on blast or anything like that. So I try to take it in a little bit more positive direction as far as some of the things that we've done well.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're gonna maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.